Just fucking do it. Subscribe now.
Yeah.
So is the best scenario or case for implementing QLA to be single, laser focused for 3, 5, 6, 7 years?
Single, no kids, your parents are dead, you have no brothers or sisters.
And stay away from trouble. You know, some women want to try
No,
lead you astray.
it's easy to do hookers. It is, absolutely. I tell, everybody, the kids. But then once in a while, the old fucks like you, they fall in love with the hookers.
I fall in love with it.
Correct.
Don't let this face fool you.
Good. I'm happy for you then.
I got a 27-year-old.
A 27-year-old. Now, you had a daughter, 19, I thought. 20.
Yeah, and my girlfriend's 27. My daughter doesn't like that. But
I don't blame her, I understand.
Same age? You said your daughter's 27?
my daughter's 20. My girlfriend is 27. She's a nurse.
And I'm sure the 27-year-old...
I'm a nurse, and I'm gonna fucking roll up.
And I know that the 27-year-old loves you for your body, I'm sure.
Fuck yeah. All fucking 5 inches.
You said that your children are failures. What would you do differently to make sure that
against me,
against you?
Not in this
What would
room,
you
they're
do to make sure
superstars.
that they became high performance people like you? What would you do differently
Ask the question again.
to make sure your children were high performance like you? What would you have done differently in the way you raised them?
I probably would have spent a little more time with them because I was gone 95% of the time. Oh, exactly, but but I wouldn't trade my success for their success. I wouldn't. I'm more selfish than that. Yes. Where's the mic?
In regard to leaning on our board, we're all thick as shit. We're going to have some dumb questions along the way. Is there anybody that we don't want to show that to?
Again, it depends on your own self-confidence, your own self-esteem. You should be able to share anything with anybody, but the one person that you have to lean on the most, depend on the most, is your chairman. That's it. And if you pick wrong, and unfortunately most pick wrong, then you're fucked. And then you're in a dogfight, as some of the stories that you've already heard. The Viking bitch dogfight was with her CFO, but it could have been her chairman, but she picked the chairman right, the 4-star general. It's not that hard to get a high-ranking military guy, or gal for that matter, to assist you. But you got to go out and you got to be candid with them. The board knows you don't know shit. You haven't told them that you don't know shit, but the board knows by definition. They've got 30, 25, 30, 45 years doing this, and you've got 4 months. So they already know that. But because of your lack of self-esteem, etc., you are hesitant or scared to tell them you don't know shit, even though they know you don't know shit. I mean, and then, 1 out of 100 or 5 out of 100, they decide, to fuck you and try to take the deal away from you. But if you set up the company right, like I told you, then they can't take the company away from you.
Is all that in the hard drive? How to set up?
Well, no, what's in the hard drive is to use lawyers you can't afford, accountants you can't afford.
Is the names, the firms?
No, they're not. They're not in there. No.
Chance to cash out for 10, 20 mil and fuck off.
Well, that's no money to me. I mean, fuck. Sally spends that. I go broke doing that. No, if you have an opportunity to cash out for 100, 200, 300 million dollars, most of you should cash out and go to Tahiti because you got lucky the first time and you're not going to be lucky the second time.
So essentially, the
yes,
setup of the organization based on the ownership.
Could you say it again, please?
The setup, like you were saying, set it up correctly with the percentages in your favor. That's the key.
Correct. major shareholder friendly. That's, I mean,
Who's the top 5 accounting firms in the U.S.?
Deloitte,
Deloitte?
KPMG, PwC, and
Legal.
no, you just asked me accounting.
No, I said legal.
No, it's not. Just Google top 5. I mean, the Denton.
M&A attorneys?
They have the top 5 legal firms in the country have the top M&A. I mean, I've been privileged. You know, I've always hired the best lawyers, the best lawyers in the country, or the best lawyers in Europe, and they're still around. Then, you know, not all the best law firms in the country or in Europe will do delayed fees. They just won't. Right now, M&A business is crazy. So why would they take somebody like you that they mean I could pay for 2 or 3 years when they can bring the cash register on a weekly or daily basis with somebody that's doing deals every day? You heard Marcus Bauer say he's building his board again. He says, I don't need delayed fees, and everybody's giving me delayed fees. So you're competing with the firms on an international basis that want to give business, they want to do business with Marcus Bauer, and they're willing to do delayed fees, even though Marcus Bauer doesn't need delayed fees. But you're not making enough calls. I mean, nobody in this room has made a fraction of the calls that I've made, or I still make, because you're afraid of rejection. His blustering bullshit, a little tub of shit. I mean, he's not a sweat, a dingleberries that I didn't wipe off my ass. I mean, you guys don't have a fucking clue. And you're still in denial, even today, right now. I brought this down here because occasionally I have to get rough. I could split his head. I wouldn't even, it wouldn't respite. I wouldn't even give a fuck if he died. The only problem I have is we're witness and it's being filmed. You guys don't live in that world. You just don't. You're all cunts. I eat people like you daily. You know, in Kentucky, I'm king. Used to be. You're living in a delusional world. That's why you got to have the people on the board that understand the real world. The real world that you want to go into. The real world you want to be part of. And they're out there. And they're looking for a fight. They're looking to eat people like you alive. And that's why the 200 or 300 years of experience that you have on the board are critical.
Mr. Peña, if you could leave us with one piece of advice from this mentee group, what would it be?
The only real guy, you know, in the group, you. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm saying if you could leave us with one bit of information that you wanted us to walk out of here tomorrow with, other than the ones that are leaving at 3 o'clock in the morning, what would that piece of advice be?
That you're not serious, and you got to get serious. And your first step to seriousness is your chairman. The rest is bullshit. And based on my interfacing with you for a week, you know, most of you are all fucked up. Your value systems are all fucked up. Whatever few pennies a few of you have made are mostly by serendipity, by luck. Although I'd rather be lucky than smart. But you haven't competed in the real world. And most of you will get eaten alive. And that's why you know down deep inside you get eaten alive. And that's why you're in your little cocoon that you are now.
Romanian's got a question.
What are the newspapers that you
Could
recommend
speak up,
reading?
please?
What are the newspaper that you recommend reading?
It's in your thumb drive, but Financial Times, New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and that's about it.
Excuse me, sir. If you can give us one small piece of advice so we can do this for a long time, or as long as we could.
Shoot, kill all your family.
On that note, we have one impression on that note. May we have him do it?
Sure.
Dan, let me ask you. So you tell everybody to go get a chairman. and we're sending these whatever scripts, and whatever. I'm not saying I'm anything special, but if somebody said, "Hey, free founders equity," I'm gonna say, "Fuck you, pay me." Why wouldn't someone who's got experience say, "Fuck you, I want equity and I want fucking payment now"?
They will.
So tell these people how to fucking do it because they don't have any goddamn money.
It's a numbers game. You're gonna have to call hundreds
your
of
chairman
people.
is your fucking lifeline.
Yeah.
So it's not next.
Hundreds
You
of
better
people.
suck his dick.
I get thousands of requests. I don't respond to any of them. I invented the free founders fucking equity. And when people call me or not call me, email me, whatever, I kind of chuckle. I've changed the financial model. It's come all around after 30 years. When they offer me free founders equity, I chuckle. I'm more likely, I've never done this, I'm more likely to ask Kat, who is my fact checker, and let's take all his business away from him. Let's take his house away from him for fun. Let's have a chuckle,
What's a good seed if they say I want some cash? How much?
No.
Don't give it to them.
No, you never.
Say fuck them and move to the next.
Correct. Correct. And there are people that will work for free. A couple of you, 3 or 4 of you, have really world-class chairmen. I haven't done anything with them yet, but world-class chairmen that are there for the free founders equity. Now, I'm a believer like Raymond that some of these guys will, because they want to give back. I don't believe in that give back model. But there are people out there that will do shit. Now, to the extent that people say I'm giving back because Sal and I are giving a lot of money to charity and all that, I'm looking at that is because I'm selfish because I want my high school to have my name on it next year. Not the fuck face that's got his name on it now. My grammar school to have my fucking name on it. So to the extent, if that's giving back, then I'm giving back. But to me, it's a selfish fucking act. I want my grammar school is celebrating its 100-year anniversary next year. I want the next 100 years for them to look up from the fucking ghetto that I came from. Fuck, who's that guy? Who's that blue-eyed Mexican? At the end of the day, most of the acts you have done are ego-driven. You may not admit they're ego-driven, but they're ego-driven. There's nothing wrong with that, in my judgment. I mean, there's so many opportunities, and there's so many opportunities to make money easily. And most of you aren't going to do government contracts for whatever reason. I don't give a fuck. But, I know it works. I mean, Raymond knows it works. The fact that you don't do it, I don't give a fuck. I mean, it means nothing to me.
And pay bonuses all the way throughout until the end?
No, when you have the free cash flow to pay bonuses. I mean, Pompadour, if there is a God, he will never have a free cash flow dollar.
I've been paying bonuses since I started this thing.
Well, but your deal is minuscule. Everybody's deal, including my black friend over there, is minuscule in the cosmos of time. Nobody in this room has made any fucking money.
Not yet.
Yet, thank you. That's the operative word. Not yet. But he is ahead of the curve because he's made some bucks.
Once you do have that cash flow all the way until the exit.
No, stop it. Don't ask me anymore. You've lived a lot longer than you should have so far. Well, now, where I come from, there's nobody in this fucking room, save 1 or 2, that would be in this room because you would have been dead between 14 and 18.
Not me then.
Well, I said save a couple. You pay attention. I know English isn't your first language, but pay attention. Yeah.